Hello everybody. Today I come to you with another video, but this time it is not going to be about cleaning, it's going to be about nursing. But before I get into that subject, I would like to say thank you to all of you that watch my video, that either like, that share, especially those of you who subscribe. Because of you, I reached 100 subscribers. So I would love for you to keep on watching my videos, sharing them, and especially I would love for you to subscribe to the channel. And since you helped me reach 100 subscribers, I would love for you to help me reach 200 subscribers. I really appreciate that. Also, all of you that left a comment, I read almost all of your comments and I tried to answer all of them. I really appreciate those words of encouragement that you left for me in the comment section, and that really means a lot to me. Thank you. So let's go back to the subject. Today's video is about how did I become a nurse? When I was in Haiti, there was a time that I had to leave the countryside where I was living to come live with my grandmother in the city. But the city life and the country life are two different things. There was a hospital not too far away from my grandmother's house. My mother and we would go visit that hospital, and looking at those patients suffering, I would visit mainly the burn unit or the general med surg unit. And when I see those people suffering, you guys, I felt like I wanted to do something to help them. But as a kid, there was not much that I could do to help. As I got older, people would ask me sometimes, what do I want to become in life? And I would tell them that I want to be a nurse. So I knew from the beginning that I wanted to be a nurse. When I came here to the United States, since I left Haiti without finishing high school, I did not meet the requirement to go to a regular high school. Therefore, I had two options. It's either I go to an education center where I could get my high school diploma, or I could go to an adult school where I could get my GED. One of my aunties decided to enroll me at the education center, but hearing some of the bad reputations about that school, I did not want to go. But my auntie encouraged me. She said, just go to school because you are not going there for those bullies. You're going to school to get your education, so just go. I listened to her and I went. And today, I am glad that I listened to her. After I got my high school diploma, I said I would take a year off before I go to college. That was not a wise decision. After that year, I did not enroll in college. So after a year, I decided to get a certification as a home health aide, which most of us call HHA. I was working with agencies at that time. Those elderlies who could not do much for themselves, I would go to their house, help them with their daily activities. After doing that for about 3 months, I went again. I made another not so wise decision. I went to a technical school and got my medical assistant. After I completed that program, I worked for maybe 3 months. Then I figured that was not for me. I still want to go for my nursing. So I finally enrolled myself at a college where I was going to school to get my associate degree before I could go for my bachelor. The university that I wanted to go to for my bachelor, it was a private university. I decided to get all of my prerequisites at that college before I moved to the university. When I was in college, you guys, life became so hard for me. I could not focus on school and work at the same time because it takes me time to learn an information, but once I get it, I get it. I needed more time to study. Therefore, I had to quit my job. And guys, after quitting that job, I get evicted. Then after I get evicted, I had to get a job. And let me say something before I continue with this video. There are things that happened to me, guys, during that aspect of my life that I will never talk to you about for a couple reasons. One of the reasons that I don't want to talk to you about certain things that hurt me, or maybe certain people that hurt me, I am not here to hurt anybody with my words. Also, there are things that happened to me in life. Looking back at them, they were meant to happen so that I could be on the right track. They were meant to happen to me in order for me to become who I am today. There are things that happen to you in life. If they did not happen to you, you probably wouldn't be where you are today. Maybe those situations made you cry. Maybe they bring pain to you, but they were meant to happen in order for you to become who you are today. I am not here on this channel to hurt people, but this is not a payback channel. It's about positivity. It's about inspiring others. And if I sit down here, talk to you about every situation that hurt me, I don't think it would bring any good to me or to you. This is just going to be a resume of how I become a nurse. So let's go back to the subject. When I left my job, you guys, I had to get evicted from my apartment. And when I tell you, I faced one of the darkest moments of my life after I quit that job. But you know what? I did not want to give up. And thinking back at them, they were not pleasant moments. I faced some serious challenges, you guys. If you are not working, you don't have a way to pay your bills, you don't have a place to live, you know how that feels. But I refused to give up. After I got evicted, I had to go look for a job. I needed to get a job where it could be flexible for me. My mother had a friend that was working at a restaurant. He's an older guy and he was working 7 days a week. There was a time that he could not work 7 days anymore because his strength was not allowing him to work 7 days a week. He needed to cut back on his hours. So I met with him and he gave me 3 days out of his 7 days. He told me that you could work any 3 days that you want. Any days that you could not work, I would work. He would work the days that I could not work, but whenever I could work, he would allow me as long as I make that 3 days, that was fine with him. So that job was very flexible for me. And you know what he was doing over there? He was responsible for washing dishes, cleaning the floor, and cleaning the bathroom. And guys, I decided to take that job. I was washing dishes, cleaning bathroom while I was going to school. And you know, in my head, I did not see it as a bad thing. I really did not see it as a bad thing. That's what I needed to do in order to get where I want to get in life. I would do anything I need to do as long as it is legal in order to get where I want to get in life. Whether it is washing dishes or do whatever it is, whether it is cutting the grass. I'm not saying that those are low-class jobs. I'm just saying that whatever I need to do, I will do it in order to get where I need to get. Sometimes when I go to work, I would go to work with my book. There was a big table in that kitchen where I would wash dishes. The dishwasher would be on one side and my book would be on the other side of the table. And from time to time, I would look over my note, I would look over my book and study. I did this until I graduated from college. And when I reached the university, if life was hard for me in college, it became 10 times harder for me at that university. Those of you who finish school, those of you who finish your nursing school, you know how intense this program is. And most of us could not work while we were doing this program. Now I had to quit the dishwasher job. Now I had no place to live. I could not pay rent. So I would live from house to house, from people's house to people's house. I would live with family members. And there was my cousin that I had to go live with. And my cousin, if you are listening from the bottom of my heart, I say thank you. I am not going to say your name, but I say thank you to you. She let me stay with her, you guys, while I was at that university. She let me stay with her until I graduated from school. And one thing I admire about her, she never made me feel like I was not paying bills. She never made me feel like I become a burden for her. And the morning before she goes to work, she would get up, cook something and left something for me before I go to school, because she would leave the house before me. Whatever it is that she cooked, she left something for me. And that was one of the greatest things, just to give me a little bit of food to go to school, because here I am with no job, with no money to pay my cell phone bill, with no money to eat at home. And inside of my book bag, I had toothbrush, I had toothpaste, I had a small blanket, I had paper plates, I have spoons, I had forks. My book bag was like my living space. There was a building that opened 24/7 for the students to come study. So if you want to spend the whole entire night there to study, as long as you're a student, you can stay there and study. And I'm telling you, when I find out about that building, I said that would become my home, and it did become my home. There are times that I would stay there the entire night. And there are times I felt like I am a burden to my cousin. Not because she made me feel like I'm a burden to her, but there are times I felt like I am a burden to her. So I would stay at that building and studying. So I was living mainly almost like a homeless. I was not a homeless, but it feels like it. Okay? And what is a homeless? A homeless is a person without a home. So I did not have a home. I had a place to lay my head, but I did not have a home. I'm not going to call myself that, but basically that's what it felt like. That's how I hold in the school. I would stay there. I would eat at the school. And when it comes for me to go at my cousin's house to lay my head at time, I would go there and sleep. And that's how I managed to graduate. I had a little Volkswagen car. I had to take a loan from college in order to buy this car. That car, I had to wait until everybody leave the parking lot until I can start it. So I would go to school, you guys, and I studied really hard until I completed my nursing degree. So the journey was not easy for me. Life was not easy for me during nursing school. It was not easy at all. But there was one thing that I refused to do. I refuse to give up. Because when I want something for my life really bad, I would work hard. No matter the challenges that I encountered, with God's grace, I was able to keep pushing. This is why when you see me showing you my house, when you see me showing you my kitchen, if you see me drive a nice car, I want you to know that I did not wake up one day and have all of those things. I cried. I had pain. I worked very hard in order to become who I am today. It was not easy for me. Therefore, those of you who are doing anything, whatever it is that you are doing in your life right now, whether you are in nursing school, whether you are in respiratory school, whether you go for construction, whatever it is that you are doing in your life, I want you to not give up. If you have to sleep in your car to complete your education, do it. Because one day you will see the fruit of your hard labor. There are times I ask myself, am I going to make it? But with the help of God, I was able to make it. And here I am today, talking to you as a registered nurse with my Bachelor of Science in Nursing.